People used to say, you know what he's doing over there? That man's cheating. That man's cheating.
If people are unhappy, in an instant they'll cheat, or in an instant they'll file for divorce. You'll be surprised.
Yeah.
There are people who file for divorce within several months or even weeks of being
You're
married.
like, okay, y'all are barely even married. Sun is sunning. Hey y'all, how you doing?
Hey y'all, what's up?
Welcome back to our YouTube channel. So as you can see, we just went to do a little shopping
At Costco.
At Costco, of course.
Yeah,
And it just
tell them where we are, man.
oh yeah. One of our favorite places to be. But as we're here, it just reminds us that the topics that we're gonna be speaking about today is, tell them the topic, babe. Why marriages are failing. I think you forgot. And we're like, I think this is one of the things that more couples should be doing together, right? More couples should definitely be doing little things like shopping together. It does help to for you to interact with each other, doing just like a little mundane task as shopping, you know, just something different, getting out the house together. It may seem small, but little things like this actually helps the relationship, right, boo?
That's right, babe.
And let your man do the heavy lifting too. That helps to bring your mood down.
Do the heavy lifting. What do you mean?
You doing all the heavy lifting,
Oh, does that,
so that's another reason to bring them with you.
does that turn you on? But I
You know what? All right. Cut. These people gonna think we crazy out here, boo. They gonna think we crazy out here. Hey y'all, so it's the next day and you're probably wondering what's going on with these two. Alright, so we got home last night and we're so tired that we decided that we're just going to go to bed. I went to bed, then you came out.
I stayed up and watched TV on the couch. Like
Our
I did.
TV watched you.
Or yeah, because I eventually fell asleep on the couch.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that we're matching. Well, we're matching because I'm wearing his clothes.
Yeah.
I do it sometimes.
I got a little chubby. So guys,
This one is kind of small.
I'm going to lose weight over the summer. So you guys are going to see a totally transformed individual soon. Yeah.
Okay,
So
that's
be
a
on
promise.
the look out for that, y'all.
Down and talk a little.
Well, you know, it's hot out here because there are two hot people out here. So that's why it's like, you know, the environment might, you know, change. It might not be able to take it. So
Okay.
we induce global warming.
We cause
Right.
climate change.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So you know the topic that we mentioned yesterday was marriages are failing. Marriages are failing, y'all.
Yeah.
When we just got married, tomorrow is our anniversary.
Whoop, whoop.
4 years in. When we just got married, I was still living in Jamaica and he was living here, and we spent almost 3 years apart.
That was tough.
It was tough. That's marriage. So 4 years in all, dating and marriage.
Thanks to COVID.
Thanks to COVID.
Yes. It delayed her visa process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, y'all, people used to say, you know what he's doing over there? That man's cheating. That man's cheating. The last time we did a video, it was multiple relationships and sex, and we talked about multiple relationships being one of the main causes of divorce, right? And a lot of the times, most of the times, women are the one who are initiating divorces because men just love to look outside. Some women do too. I won't say just men. Some women do, but mostly men.
Right.
And babe, why do you think that is? Why do you think a lot of men tend to look out? Because we remain true to each other.
Uh-huh.
You can expound on that.
I think a lot of men tend to have eyes that are just, you know, darting off in all types of directions because as men we're triggered by what we see. We're turned on by a woman's body. So if it looks good to us, then our instinct tells us, hey, go after that, pursue that. So I think because we're wired differently than y'all, we just go for what we like. And so it's harder for us to remain loyal, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
All right, so that's one meaning coming from a man. But all right, what are some of the things that you did while... I know I want this to be a different topic, though. I was going to ask him what are some of the things he did to distract himself from like dating and being attracted to other women, because I know women were like, okay, where's your wife? She's in Jamaica. And, women sometimes initiate these cheating because they make themselves available. And I think, okay, I can get this girl I can take him from this girl because she ain't around.
And I'm a sexy man. My confidence is through the roof. But in all seriousness, guys, I mean, what I did is I made sure that if there were any signs of trouble, or if I was tempted in any way, I would just annihilate that temptation, just cut it off at the root. And I'm a Christian, so I mean, you just confess your sin to God if you struggle with lust, and you just keep going. And so I made it a point not to cheat on my wife or not to be unfaithful. I stayed in constant communication with my wife. I think, speaking of communication, I think communication is vital.
Yeah, it is.
Towards a stable and functional marriage.
Yeah, that's the next thing. Communication is key.
Yeah.
We used to talk every day. For me, it was much easier for me to not be tempted because I was just devoted. My eyes were on marriage. I finally got married, and my eyes were just for my husband. Like, nothing else out there enticed me.
Right.
And even if, because I'm from Jamaica, men are barefaced in Jamaica.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna say it like that. They're gonna say, he's all the way over there, you don't know what he's doing, we could be doing something. I'm like, sir, And first of all,
and believe it or not, I mean, there were people around me saying, oh, that woman is cheating on you. There were people at my job that, constantly confronted me with the notion that, hey, she's probably got somebody else in Jamaica. She's just using you or whatever. And I knew that my wife is a solid Christian woman, and she was loyal to me. Even before we got married, I asked people about her. I had to make sure that
in my community.
Yeah. I asked people at her church what was her reputation like, and I had to make sure that I was getting a queen. And so I knew who my wife was, and I knew that she was of upright character. And so I was secure. And so even though people kept pressing me and saying, hey, she may be cheating on you, or she may have another man on the side, I just shrugged it off.
So he made some vital points.
Right. I was saying, despite the fact that people were saying, oh, she may have another man, or she might have someone else on the side, I just shrugged it off because I knew that my wife was a Proverbs 31 woman. And
that's right, ladies. Be a Proverbs 31 woman, or learn to be one.
Right.
It doesn't come easy. We all had a process. I had to learn to know myself. I had to learn to change, because when you are out there in the world, you have worldly influences, and it's easy to do the wrong thing. So in order for you to desire a good man, a good marriage, you have to be the change. You have to be the force. You have to be the wife he desires too. It's not just the man alone. You have to do your part, right? So for me, I had to do a lot of introspection. I had to do a lot of change. I had to make sure that I'm seeking marriage for the right reasons and not to fill some void. That's not it. We are called, I had the desires to get married.
We have to put Christ, you have to put Christ first.
You have to put Christ first.
Yeah, because, I mean, a person, cannot fill the void that he can. So you basically, you have to learn how to love yourself first. You have to first learn how to love God, and then you have to learn, then you have to learn how to love yourself. Because if those two are out of the equation, then your love life is probably not going to go according to plan. It's not
so it starts with loving yourself, loving God, loving yourself, and allow him to make the changes. whenever it convicts you of something, you change. If you see something that, okay, it's bothering me, I know this is not right, change. Allow him to help you. There are different ways in which you can drop a bad habit, you know. But for me, I'm glad I gave myself that time. I gave myself over a year of non-dating, and the Lord did so much changes in me, and that really helped me to stay true to my marriage.
Communication. So communication, as fellas, sometimes we struggle in that area, I think, because many times we like to shy away from controversy. And especially if we had a long day at the job, and you just want to come home, and you want to relax, and you want to be at peace.
Yeah.
And you might not want to discuss what happened at work. You might not want to discuss what's happening with you personally. But it's important that you communicate with your significant other, because communication can resolve a lot of conflicts. And so, although we like to internalize things a lot, I think it can come at the detriment of our marriage. And so it's good to try to just be as honest and forthright with your spouse as possible.
I think personally, in order for you to have a good communication, spending a lot of quality time together. Once you're with the person, you spending quality times, there's no escaping having that quality conversation that you need to have in order for your relationship to improve. For us, we had a bad patch last year because I just moved here, and we were used to communicating over devices. So now we are living together for a long period of time, and it was hard for us. We didn't know, we weren't communicating well at one point, and so we had to learn. We had one counseling session, just one.
And my father died last year as well.
His father passed, and so he was dealing with a lot of stresses, and I just felt a lot of left out in a lot of ways. Okay, so we seeked help. And so that's another thing too. If it is that you're not a good communicator, because a lot of us weren't grown into a household where both mother and father knew how to communicate well and taught us, or whoever grew us, our guardians. For me, that was the case. I didn't know how to really be good at communicating, but because I tried to learn new ways of doing this, like I wasn't good at communicating, but I knew I had to try to learn new ways. Even if I was uncomfortable, I tried to do it. Because in the beginning of a relationship, because we are from two different cultures, it was really rough. But one side decided that, okay, listen, you have to do your part. So communication is key, and that is the only reason why we're still together, because our whole dating period was communicating over a phone.
Right.
So if we didn't have that together, nothing would be possible.
Amen.
Another thing I wanted to say is, when you're not communicating with your spouse, that's going to lead to other things. So if you're not expressing yourself with your spouse, you're going to express it in other ways. You're going to find other ways of dealing with whatever is happening with you, and then your spouse is going to get left out. It's going to lead to other things. The little nuances are going to become big nuances, and then from that to another thing. What I also want to talk about is
don't let outside influences, or be careful, be wary of outside influences in your relationship. Ladies, don't rely on your talk show host as a tool to advance your relationship, or as a don't do that. And fellas, just be careful with who you talk to at the barbershop, or or your homeboy. Don't, just be careful who you reveal certain information to, because that person might not be mature enough, and if you're a Christian, they might not be spiritually mature enough.
Right.
And so you could be getting bad information or bad advice from that person. And so just ensure that you talk to your significant. Well, firstly, if you're a Christian, talk to God.
Yeah.
Take it before the Lord, and then even if you're not a Christian, talk to your significant other about the issues facing your relationship.
Yeah, and seek help if you cannot manage it on your own.
Right.
Another thing that I want to talk about is your spouse should be your friend. So if you feel like there's too much clashing, too much going on, that's going to result in either a bad breakup or just your relationship will just not be fruitful. You'll be at each other so much that what are you going to be benefiting from that? Right? Your spouse should be your best friend.
That's right.
Or one of. I'm not saying you don't have a relationship with other people outside of your spouse, because some spouses are toxic and narcissists. So you have to be careful. And if so many people are warning you about this person, be careful, because it could be that you're blindsided. It could be that you're blindsided. If a lot of people are warning you about somebody, it more than likely is true. If they know the person, like people were telling him about me.
Right, but sometimes, I mean, I know it's difficult, even if people are warning you about a person, because if you become emotionally attached, and you start having sex with somebody, you start.
Yeah, that's another thing too.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It kind of allows you to be like blindsided.
Right.
Like, okay.
The sex game can definitely
it keeps you distracted.
It can keep you distracted from what's really going on.
Yeah, so that's another thing. So yeah, marriages are failing, y'all. I think it's a pandemic, something that's happening across the world.
Right. I think another reason why marriages are failing is because, we live in a very narcissistic society. Like, our society is based off personal convenience rather than trying to be patient and stick it out with your spouse or significant other for better or for worse. And so people are, if people are unhappy, in an instant they'll cheat, or in an instant they'll file for divorce. You'll be surprised. There are people who file for divorce within several months or even weeks of being married.
Like, okay, y'all are barely even married. We are barely even married for 4 years, but we've been through so much. We've witnessed so much with people around us, friends, people who have been married, and we have seen it like, okay, that's toxic. And we don't want it for ourselves. So we know the things that are going wrong in their relationship, and we learn from it. So try to learn from other people's mistake too. That's a general rule of thumb. Like, if you don't learn from theirs, you're gonna learn from your own. I mean, everybody have to have their own experiences. Like, you won't know until you're in the marriage. So don't be like one of those people that say, oh, all marriages are, oh, I don't want to get married because look at those people struggling in marriage. Look at you struggling outside of marriage. That's a delusion.
Right.
And a lot of us have healthy marriages and don't even think arguments are not supposed to happen in a relationship. It should happen.
And sometimes you can spice up the relationship, honestly.
Healthy arguments are important. You ever realize how siblings be fighting with each other? It's normal. It's a normal part.
At the end of the day, you still love each other.
Yeah, it's a normal part of relationships. You should have some form of disagreement or arguments, like healthy arguments, y'all. I don't mean like, and it shouldn't be that often either. And you should be able to talk through these things, because guess what? You're two different people called to be one. So if you realize, think about group projects. Projects. Those of you who have been to university, especially.
I didn't like group projects at university.
Oh my gosh! So imagine you being a group. You and your partner is a group project. Yeah, because you're more than one. It's a group project.
If one person fails in the group, then everybody could get a bad grade. So I really didn't like them, but still a good analogy though, babe.
Yeah, it really is. Like, if one person isn't doing well, like, if it affects both of us, we're called to be one. So yeah, that's basically what we have to say, y'all.
Yeah, y'all don't give up on marriage. I mean, I know our society is preaching a different tune, but in my area of work, I see that, a lot of young people are struggling, and they're in and out of the criminal justice system, and it has to do mostly with fractured marriages and fractured relationships.
Yeah.
So it's important for the stability of our nation and our future for us to be married and have good, healthy, and functioning relationships.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, it, y'all.
That's
Coming
it.
from us, and this is tribute to our 4-year anniversary tomorrow. Alright, y'all, so that would be all for today's video. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope this was very insightful. Leave some comments below. Tell us something that you have learned from marriage and you'd like to contribute. Maybe somebody else can benefit from that, and even us as young people being in marriage. I got married at 25 and he was 29. So y'all,
we're still trying to figure it out.
You're
We're still a young
trying
couple.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, why did you get married so young? When was I supposed to start getting married if I found the one? I found the one. So
Likewise.
yeah. Alright, so
All right. So remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share.
Yeah.
And we love you guys, and may the Lord bless you.
yeah, and keep you. We'll see you in the other one. Alright, take
All right.
care. Bye.